We all had that one moment where we rushed out of an exam feeling really disappointed in ourselves. You see, that voice inside of your head, that's the critic that is within you. And honestly, self criticism is always seen as this bad villain, a villain that pushes you down, a dark part of yourself. But what if I told you it's not because of the fact that self criticism exists, it's because of the way we use it. Just like how a knife can be used to hurt a person or used to feed a family, self criticism can either be one of the most destructive things in your life or one of the most powerful weapons that you can use. In 10th grade, I went for a monologue delivery competition. And ladies and gentlemen, when I say this, please believe me, I couldn't look at people in the eye and talk. I was so introverted. My social skills were so bad. But regardless, I went for the competition. And as the names were being called, I was really nervous. I was shaking, my stomach was aching. But as my name was called, as I walked up to the stage slowly, there was nothing else but the silence of the audience, the mic, and my mind. And you see, I spoke the famous Shakespeare lines. To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. And once I spoke these lines, I got out of the stage. And a day later, surprisingly, I got third place. And you see, my parents were really proud of me because I wouldn't even get out of the house, let alone win a competition like this. And my friends praised me because they didn't expect a kid who couldn't even talk to the teacher properly to do an entire speech in front of a huge audience. But you see, what matters is what I thought of myself. That voice inside of my head. That voice, what it said was this. Why not first? Why couldn't you have been first? And right before I let that voice become negative, I decided to switch the tone. I decided to ask the right questions with my critic. What could I have done differently that would have gotten me first place? What could I have done to do a better speech? And honestly, I asked those questions and I searched up hundreds of videos, learning to fix my posture, my body language, my facial expressions. And in the end, it was really worth it. It made me the man I am today. All because I asked the right questions. This could be used for anything really. Self-criticism should be a part of your life, but you should know how to use it. Had I used my negative emotions, I wouldn't have been able to build up the self-confidence to come here. I would have stopped my growth from reaching its full potential. But that's the thing. Self-criticism does not have to be used like that. What I instead did was ask the right questions. I did not downplay my mistakes with over-positivity, saying I can do better next time without seeing any areas of improvement. What I had done was I saw a place, a gray area between negativity and positivity, the truth. Learning from your mistakes is way more beneficial than learning from your success. And as the Chinese war strategist once said, Sun Tzu, his name, from the book The Art of War, know thy enemy, know thyself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. You see, my enemy for a very long time was this Rubik's Cube. When I was little, I used to admire the colors of the Rubik's Cube, thinking, wow, I could solve this. But in reality, the only step I was able to reach was this, the first 2 layers. I couldn't solve the 3rd layer. And for 2 weeks, I was stuck in this place. And I was self-satisfied. I was satisfied that I was able to do this. Until the voice spoke again. Why can't you solve the final layer? Is it because you're not smart enough? But I did not let that affect me. Instead, I changed the question again, just like how I did with my monologue delivery. I instead asked, how can I learn how to solve the first layer? I mean, the last layer. And honestly, I looked up hundreds of videos again. And step by step, I was eventually able to solve the whole cube. And just like this, just like how I use self-criticism, asking the right questions instead of downplaying with over-positivity or adding negative emotions that lower my self-esteem. That's how you should use self-criticism too. Because it's not about being your harshest critic. It's about being your greatest critic. And maybe, just maybe, you too need not fear the result of 100 battles.